Coaches Corner at YoHo Rum and Taco at the Wharf. Glad to have you along for this episode. Getting ready to talk some football and other Orange Beach athletics. So some surprises coming up. If you're not doing anything, I would encourage you to come down here right away because it is beautiful here. We've got all the lights and the boats in the background, and it is a beautiful sight. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Orange Beach Athletic Director Shane Alexander.
Yeah, thank you, Tracy. And this is our fourth installment of the Coaches Corner, and
Hey, by the way, I heard you were a couple weeks ago. I was gone. I heard you were throwing me under the bus.
Darren was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. He was pretty good. But no, we're going to come back to you, I promise. But yeah, we're excited. Fourth episode, and we're going to talk a little football tonight, and then of course we've got a guest speaker. We've got Coach Karen Atkins with the volleyball program. Is going to talk a little volleyball. But yeah, we're excited to talk football this week. We had a big week last week, earning our second postseason playoff appearance in school history. So that's huge for the Makos, and we're going to talk about that and what these last three games of the season look like. It's all about seeding right now, Coach, is it not?
Yeah, we're playing to be at home. Got to find a way to win a couple more games and end up getting a home playoff game. So glad to be in, but looking forward to the next three to really find out where we're at, how far we've come as a program in the last few months.
Yeah, we've since the start of the year, it's the past couple of weeks we have been on a roll. Offensively, defensively, I don't think the defense gave up a point last week. Escambia County final score 38-6, and didn't give up a point. Of course, the offense is producing, and we just need that to continue the next 3 weeks.
We do. If we can just keep finding ways to get out of our own way, I feel good about where we're going. But yeah, our defense has played really well the last couple of weeks, and outside of a couple of miscues right before the half in the last four games, it was like 2 weeks we defensively had miscues going into halftime. Then the last 2 weeks, miscues on offense going into halftime. We've played pretty good, and really proud of our guys. They're learning how to handle adversity, and things aren't shaking them as bad as they were earlier in the year. But still a long way to go, and we've had good weeks of practice this week, so feel like we're moving in the right direction.
Awesome. And I don't know, Tracy, if we're going to go to break right now, but it's an odd week. We play on a Thursday night this week, so we got Jackson at home at 7 o'clock on Thursday night, so we need everybody to come out.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a real quick break here. Again, we are at Coach's Corner. We are at the Wharf at YoHo Rum and Tacos. Come on down. We'll take a quick break, come back, talk more football after this on the Coach's Corner Show. Welcome back to Coach's Corner at YoHo Rum and Tacos at the Wharf. And we're talking Orange Beach football with Shane Alexander, the athletic director, and Coach Wade Waltrip. Coach, Shane?
Take it away. Yeah, so Coach, before the break, we were talking about making the playoffs and how big that is. I know you were here a little bit in the spring, but if you look back to last year and compared to where we are at now, you got to be pleased with how these kids have responded.
No, there's no doubt we're growing, and I can say just from the first week of the season to where we are now, feel like we've made a lot of strides, and even from W.S. Neal Satsuma week going into Robertsdale, I think was the last time we talked. We were going into that game, coming into the show, and playing a bigger school up in class. But to physically go in and play physical football against a bigger opponent, we were not prepared to do that earlier in the year. And
right.
Just a tribute, to our kids believing and buying into, what we're trying to do and how we're trying to do it. And then, and then next, this past week, playing Escambia, a very physically gifted team, probably more talented physically than Robertsdale, and they made it really tough on us in the box trying to run, but we managed to be the more physical team, the more well-conditioned team, and played well, put up a lot of points in the last 4 weeks. I think we're averaging over 40 points a game, and defensively, even going back into Robertsdale,
Yeah.
The defense really didn't give up a touchdown today.
Right.
You know, we had a pick six, and we had a kickoff return for a touchdown that set them up at about the 3 or 4. They only had 68 total yards of offense. So, you know, having given up 100 yards of offense in 2 weeks now, moving forward, you know, the challenge is going to get we're going to go back up the hill now. It's going to be a little bit tougher, but you know, it was just nice to see guys, you know, in the secondary where we had struggled for a couple of weeks, breaking on the ball, catching the ball, making plays on the ball. Where, you know, 2-3 weeks ago that ball was hanging in the air and we weren't doing anything about it. You know, so. You know, I know our coaches are working really hard and our players are working hard. So, you know, proud of the growth.
Yeah, you know, even with the Robertsdale game where you're facing that offense that you just don't see a whole lot of, and then, you know, back to Escambia County where, you know, they throw it a little more. So, you know, and when I look at your team, you know, you only get so many reps during the week to prepare, and, you know, those two different packages, that heavy package and then, you know, that regular package, I mean, that's got to drive defensive coordinators crazy.
I hope it does. You know, I hope they spend a lot of time working on each one of them. And, you know, we got some things this week that I hope, you know, down the road people will be having to spend some time to work on. But it's two different, you know, two different ways of getting to what we want to do and trying to figure out which guys on their defense we want to try to make tackle or take out of the game based on their ability. And, you know, both of them have been effective. You know, both of them outside of the Bayside game where we're out, the personnel was a little different. We had a couple of guys out. You know, we've been effective in both, and you know, they're both good tools.
Yeah, and you know, even Friday night against Escambia County, you know, it rained, you know, 3 quarters, but you know, your guys just, you know, I don't know if I'd want to get in front of Beck, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, you know, and when Austin figures that out, it's going to be even a lot more fun. You know, he is so dynamic for us and just does so many different things. You know, he snaps for us as the punt on our punts and our field goals, and you know, he's playing really, really well at defensive end, along with Daniel Hembry. Both of those two guys are playing so good right now. And then to come over and, you know, be able to snap him the ball. But here's the great thing where we're getting, you know, and I can call Austin out specifically, and you know, Logan Cruz, they really know what we're trying to do, and you know, they're able to kind of look at the defense and they know exactly what we want to be in. So it's getting to where, you know, at different times in the game, Coach McKellar, when we're in that package, he can just point at them, and they know the look we're trying to get. They know the play we want to be in. Matter of fact, Coach called one the other night, and they were looking over, kind of shaking their head at him like, don't do it. You know, no. It didn't hit. And Austin goes, look, it needs to be this. Well, he called it. He said, call it. Do it. Next play, you know, 7-8 yards, and we scored right there. But that is so much fun as a coach when your players, you know, and where we want to get in this program is where all of our players fully understand what we're trying to do in every phase, and they can, you know, they can communicate what they're seeing. We know that it's real. You know, they're trusting us, we're trusting them. It just makes, it's the dynamic you want as a coach. And Blake Brunet's been doing it on special teams. Hood's done it on special teams. Austin Beck the other night, he came off and he said, look, I am free, but I can't get there. If Blake comes right here, Blake can get there. Let me and him switch. So just putting team before self, and understanding what we're trying to do. You just hope that spreads like wildfire to every one of your players.
Absolutely. But yeah, it was a big night. You know, the rain kind of dampened their crowd, but you know, once again, our student section, you know, showed up and showed out, and you know, those guys have been great all year. But let's talk about Thursday night.
Yeah,
big challenge.
We do. You know, number 1 team in the state. I've coached 7A football for the last 10, 12 years, 6A football, and physically they're as talented as any of the teams that we played, and I'd say maybe outside of the top 4 or 5 in 7A and the top 7 or 8 in 6A, they're beating everybody else in the state on paper with their players, and very well coached. Got a great player at quarterback, a dynamic running back, wide receiver, and really good athletes on defense. So complete package. You know, for us, it's a tall order for us coming into this game. You know, we're going to have to play this game differently in terms of, you know, if it's like a basketball game, it doesn't need to be up and down. If it's a baseball game, we don't need to be swinging for the fences with them. You know, they're going to hit a lot more home runs than we are. we've got to be very deliberate in what we're doing on offense. We have to stay ahead of the chains.
Right.
Cannot get ourselves behind the chains in long situations. And then, defensively, got to find a way to make them punt it once or twice. And they've punted 4 times this year.
Oh, wow.
They've not punted a lot, and they're not great at that. So hopefully if we can create 1 or 2 of those opportunities, that will be an opportunity. And I think our kids understand that if we get that situation, that's going to be an opportunity for us to make a play. So just got to make the most of them, and hopefully turn this game into something that they're not getting on a bus coming down here to be a part of.
Yeah, and we had talked a little earlier today about that 25-second clock. We need to milk that baby. The old Dean Smith 4 corners. I know Mr. Wilkes over there. You remember the old Dean Smith 4 corners, and
the good news is
that clock.
Hey, the good news is that clock is 40 seconds. So we're going to try to use 38 of them, minimum of 38 every time, and just again trying to make sure our guys understand the mentality of this week and in the next couple of weeks. We've been talking about November since we got here, and the things that we're doing, while we're doing them, when we're doing them. Wasn't for August, wasn't for September, wasn't for October. It was for November, and it's having working kind of with the end in mind, working backwards. And this is a huge test. It's going to tell us where we are, how close we are, how far away we are, whatever how you want to phrase it. We're going to learn a lot more about our guys Friday night, and as a coaching staff, we're going to make sure that what we learn is applied and makes us better in the next few weeks.
Yeah, the next 3 weeks, the Jackson, Mobile Christian, St. Michael's. I mean, that'll get you ready for the playoff.
No, it will. No, it definitely will, and that's what you want. You want to be sharp going in, and
right.
There is no doubt that we will have played 3 of the best ones. We will have played 3 playoff games going into the playoffs when it's time for us to play. So it's what you want.
So once again, that's Thursday night, Mako Stadium, 7 o'clock against the Jackson Aggies, and we're excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Fired up. We're going to learn a lot about our guys.
A beautiful night at the Wharf at YoHo Ramen Tacos for Orange Beach Coaches Corner. And we're going to continue on now. And here's Athletic Director Shane Alexander.
All right. Thank you, Tracy. So, we mentioned earlier we got a special guest tonight. So we've got Coach Karen Atkins with us with the head volleyball coach. And we're going to talk a little volleyball to end the night. But, Coach, I know I sprung it on you this morning. I kind of walked into her office and asked her, what are you doing tonight? And, I'm not sure she knew where I was going with that, but I said, I need you at the radio show.
She'll probably answer that question differently from now on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, Coach, we're excited to have you talk a little volleyball, talk about our girls. But, we were talking earlier. You've had a great regular season, but God, you guys are young.
Yeah, we're very young. Out of 16 players, 8 of them are 9th graders. And so when you look on the court, I have 4 9th graders that are starters that's never been in that role before. And so it's very challenging, but I have to say I'm very proud of them because they've stepped up and I've been put in some situations, especially with our schedule. We've played a tough schedule. So the schedule doesn't always reflect the success of your program.
Right.
And so that has been the case with us because we've played some very, very competitive teams. Out of, our record is 18 wins and 19 losses. But with that, 28 of the teams that we've played are 5A, 6A, or 7A. And demographically here, it's very difficult for us to find 4A teams to play.
Right.
So most of the teams that we've played have been a lot bigger than us, and so anyway, that's been a challenge. But
but that's going to prepare you.
Absolutely.
It's and I know Coach Waldrop is. Coach William Booth at Hartselle used to talk about, you can be 20-20 and win a state championship.
That's right.
It's how you finish, and what you do in that regular season to prepare you for the end is and I think you guys have done that because I've been to most of your games, and playing those 6A, 7A, that's going to get you ready for this 4A competition. But let's talk about your team a little bit. I love to watch Addie Roach.
Man, she's something else.
She's special.
She is our lone senior on the court. Emma Steed is another senior, but she had an injury this year. So she hasn't been able to do anything. We did let her serve 1 ball on senior night, just to give her a little bit of gratification for having to miss the entire season. But man, Eddie Roach is something special. When she hits the ball, you need to get out of the way. You need to get out of the way.
It's at a different angle.
It is, and Addie's been a really great leader for us as well. She's very calm. She has a great calm demeanor about her, which is a really subtle leadership style. She doesn't have to say a lot. Her actions speak louder than words, and so she comes from good stock.
Absolutely.
So both parents are Division I athletes, so she inherited some good genes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the thing too is, of course you've got Ava Hodo, and you've been without her. Usually on the weekends she's on a visit somewhere, with softball. But now that that's over with, I'm excited to see what she brings to the table to help y'all, in the playoffs.
Well, me too. And being a small school, we have to share athletes,
Absolutely.
and we encourage that. But I think Ava brings something to the court that helps everybody, and it's a calmness.
Yeah.
She's been in a lot of pressure situations where she's came out successful. So just having her on the court from here on out is something that we're really looking forward to, because she did miss, the other night when we played our first, our second area match against St. Michael's. She wasn't there. She was in Arkansas, and so. I think if she had been there, it would have been a little different comeback, because she can just bring so much to the court that we need, and so we're looking forward to that. But we're very happy that she's committed.
Yeah, we're excited for her, and
Absolutely.
I know her dad's excited too. But,
I'm very happy, very proud for her.
Yeah, but volleyball's that sport I watch, and I watch you give the signals to the serves, and I still haven't figured it out. But the liberos and. Talk about your libero. You got Kinsley Blackwell.
I do. Kinsley had to step up this year in the absence of Ava, because Ava was doing so much traveling. We had to fulfill that role, and Kinsley, man, she's just been spectacular. And there's another common athlete that you and I share.
Right.
And so I think that being a diverse athlete just helps with that. She's done a good job. I'm so proud of her. In terms of serving, sometimes it gets to the point to where we're talking about serves, and I'm calling them like, okay, just get it over.
Get it over the net.
We just wanted to go over now. Okay, forget that signal. Just in the square, please.
Yeah, but the whole rotations, I love to watch it. But I don't know if I could coach it, because I don't understand it.
It's fun. It's a cool sport.
Absolutely. And talk about those young ones. I mean, the future's bright, obviously, for the Makos, but talk about those young players you got.
It is. It's very bright. Bella Rumley is a ninth grader who started for us as an outside hitter. And, some of a lot of people don't know it, but like Bella and Sadie Orwell and Bailey Turner and some of these girls, they played, J-Mo, they all played club for me when they were younger, so they got a good foundation early, and I think that's the key, is getting a good foundation in the sport. So.
Yeah, definitely got a good foundation.
Absolutely.
All right, Tracy.
All right, take a break and come back after this on the Coach's Corner. We're live from YoHo Rum and Taco at the Wharf. We'll be back after this. Back on Coach's Corner here tonight, and we've already talked a little bit about Orange Beach football, and now Orange Beach volleyball is our discussion topic. I'll turn it over to Shane.
Yeah, so we're back again with Coach Karen Atkins with the volleyball program. Earlier we talked about the regular season and a few of the players, but I think what is it, on the 15th we start area play, and now it gets real. But you were talking earlier, a lot of people get caught up in their records. You're kind of like me, could care less about the records. But, the one thing people need to understand is, rankings are the same way. We don't really look at them. But, the North in 4A is, I think 7 out of the 10 teams ranked are from the North and 3 in the South. So, with the playoffs coming up, area on the 15th, what do we got? Satsuma, St. Michael?
Right. So we are second in the area right now. St. Michael's beat us in the regular season, and then we beat Satsuma. So we're going to go in and play Satsuma on the 15th. So the way the area works is you've got to finish in the top 2 to go to the Sweet 16. And I kind of put the pressure on my kids. I was like, guys, I've never not made it out of area. So
right.
Hey, we got our work cut out for us. But at this point in time, it's anybody's game. It's all about that match that day and who comes ready to play. And we've got to get geared up and do what we need to do. But yeah, the North is a very strong. So out of the 7 teams, only 4 will go to the Elite
Right.
8 and 4 from the South. So, I mean, we've got 3 teams, really, really strong teams, and the top 10 are going to be eliminated, which, hey, I like that math.
Absolutely.
So that gives us, a good talking point, and so that's something that we're happy about. And
Yeah.
I think we got pretty good, getting there is what it's all about. And then once we get there, then we got to take care of business.
Yeah, for the people that are listening, the thing that's interesting about volleyball, in softball, it's double elimination. Volleyball, it's one game, and,
right.
and you could go to the house. So
Right.
it's we got to win one Satsuma on the 15th, and then we're gonna get revenge on St. Michael's, and then I guess your regionals is Montgomery, correct?
It is. It'll be in Montgomery the next week. Everything's during the week, and so again, that's in Montgomery. And then if you advance out of that, you got to win 2 games to advance to be a part of the Elite 8. But the better you do, the better your seed. So
Right.
you don't want to catch Alexandria number 1 seed by being a 4th seed from the North.
Right.
So you want to do really, really well in order to catch a great seed.
Yeah, so like we said, regionals Montgomery, states Birmingham,
It
is that correct?
Yeah, at the Crossplex.
At the
And-
Crossplex.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we need everybody to show up the 15th at St. Michael's
We do.
to support our Makos. I got a good feeling. I think our best games are ahead of us, and we need to send Addie out on a good note.
That's
but
right. Absolutely.
what is it? Prattville Christian down here, and I believe Geneva's maybe another one down in the south.
Yeah.
But how does that work as far as the regionals? Do you match up with a different area, or
You do. So, like, we're the number 1 area, and we would catch, I think, a runner-up of Area 4.
Area 4? Okay.
Yeah, if we win. If we lose, we'd catch the winner of
Okay.
that area. So, I mean, it's pretty well balanced.
So and then they seed it for the state tournament.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
and it's crossover. And last year we caught right out of the second set. I'm sorry, the second match that we had to play. We were in Montgomery Catholic,
Yeah.
who went on to win the state, and the runner-up out of our area ended up finishing second. So that was a little off balance, so to speak. I mean, like, you run into 2 area teams playing each other instead of
Yeah.
an area and a runner-up. So that was a little different.
So what do we got? We got a week to prepare
We do.
before our.
Yeah.
Of course, we got fall break, but we got a chance to get some work in, get ready for the area,
Right.
and I'm excited. What time do we play? Do we know yet?
Yeah,
on the
we
15th?
do. We kick off with the Satsuma at 4:30, and then we're planning on playing that 6 o'clock match.
4:30 on the 15th. Okay.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Mako Nation, we need you
Yeah,
there.
Absolutely.